when you observe all the living organisms, they require food, oxygen, and several substances which are required for their survival. Like all the living organisms required food, oxygen, and several substances for their survival. So these food and oxygen and whatever the substances which are essential, those need to be transported. And it has to reach to the target tissue. Okay. Yes, we know all the organisms are requiring this, but it has to go for transportation because they cannot use there itself. Best example, suppose if we take the food into our body through mouth by the process of ingestion, it has to reach to the part of small intestine. Because in the small intestine you can see there is a process of complete digestion. So it has to reach to the target site, that is small intestine, so that the process of complete digestion would take place. So today here we are going to study about the chapter which is called transportation. Okay, transportation means all the living organisms, as they require food, oxygen and substances, those need to be transported. These transported substances, irrespective of you observe in unicellular and multicellular organisms. You observe in both unicellular and multicellular organisms. When you come to the unicellular organisms, as they are very simple and the degree of organization is simple, so these unicellular organisms, best example, consider amoeba. They need not to have a separate transport system. Because their organization is very simple. It can be carried out only by the process of simple diffusion. So, the transportation of substances, like you observe oxygen and carbon dioxide, with the help of surface or membrane, they exchange into the surroundings. These organisms exchange into the surroundings by the process of simple diffusion. So, no need to have any transport system in the case of unicellular organisms. When you come to the multicellular organisms, okay, these are complex and their degree of organization is complex. So they require a transport system. Or you can also consider it as circulatory system. So best example, let us study what are the transport fluids which are present in the case of humans. So here the major important fluid which is circulating throughout the body and playing very important roles, that is blood and the other one is lymph. Okay. When you come to the blood, here it is acting as a fluid connective tissue which is circulating throughout the body to carry specialized functions. To carry out specialized functions. Like best example, if you go with the blood, they carry oxygen as they contain hemoglobin. Okay, RBC cells, as they have hemoglobin, they carry oxygen to all the parts of the body. But what is the function? To carry out the metabolic functions, we require oxygen. Not only that, they carry carbon dioxide after carrying out the metabolism. Even they carry carbon dioxide. And they maintain the body temperature. And they control the secretion of hormones from the endocrine glands. Okay. So, major functions in the body can be performed by a fluid connective tissue, that is blood, which is the major circulatory system or fluid in the transport system, that is flowing through the heart. Okay. Now, if you observe in the case of the composition of blood, okay, generally it contains fluid matrix, plasma and some of the formed elements. Okay, if you see the composition of blood, it contains fluid matrix. Then you can observe second plasma and the formed elements. Okay, so let us discuss about the plasma. What is plasma? So plasma is generally, if you see the characteristic features of plasma, it is a straw color liquid. Okay, it is a straw color liquid. Okay, and this plasma generally it is composing 55%. Okay, 55% of the blood. Apart from this, this plasma also contains 6% of proteins. They also contain 6% of proteins, along with, like you observe some of the proteins like fibrinogen. Okay, fibrinogen, albumins and globulins. Fibrinogen, albumins and globulins. Not only that, some of the substances are also present, like you can go with like carbohydrates, fats, amino acids and so on. Okay, so if you observe the 6% of proteins which are present in plasma, what is the function? If you go with the fibrinogen, it is helpful for coagulation. It is helpful for the coagulation of blood at the time of injury. Okay, when you go with the albumins, okay, albumins are responsible to maintain osmotic balance in the body. Osmotic balance in the body, which is nothing but regulating the osmotic balance, that ions or the liquids which are present in the body to carry out the proper metabolism. Okay, when it comes to the globulins, okay, this globulins is acting as a defense mechanism or defense system. Okay, now so different proteins which are present in the plasma carry out different functions. Okay,